And welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I know it has nothing to do with a topic or a story or anything. This is more of a personal rant than anything. You can consider this, I guess, my personal opinion regarding my decision to actually refund Cyberpunk 2077. Now, for those who did not select the easy way out, as I call it, to simply get CD Projekt Red to send you a PayPal link and kind of like deposit money there, I honestly did not care about it because the email sent them wasn't the same email as PayPal. And you know what? I haven't gotten my PayPal in so long since, for me personally, I kind of had a credit card by then when most people, I guess, were using PayPal for buying stuff online. So I didn't really need PayPal. So I don't really use PayPal, in other words. So I decided to stick it out a little bit longer. And all of a sudden, a couple days ago, I received this beautiful email from CD Projekt Red to let me know that basically I will be getting a refund. Now, this email looks a little bit different than most of you who pretty much got the PayPal refund, because I decided to, like I said, wait a little bit longer to get a different type of refund. Now, this makes me laugh because for those who actually received the original one, I'm going to try to link it right here. CD Projekt Red was basically trying to say, hey, listen, if you don't take the PayPal option, you're gonna have to wait long. And when I mean long, I mean like almost 6 months, and that's more of a vague 6 months. So it was kind of pushing you to try to go for the PayPal version. So I decided not to do that. I decided to simply stand my ground, in other words, and stay here and wait, because I was not in a hurry at all. I told myself maybe if there's a patch, I might give the game a shot again. But regretfully, at this point, you know what? Regardless of the patch, regardless of the information, I heard that a lot of things got fixed. For me personally, there was a hot fix early on about Dum Dum. For those of you who haven't really played the game, anyway, it's a story mission where I was really far ahead in the mission. I was pretty much almost done, and I really wanted to do it to try to get the secret ending, in other words. But my game glitched out, and I couldn't get through the doors of the mission. And then I had a hot fix come in, but for me, it didn't work at all. It just did not work. So it caused me to just, kind of like finish a game in a classic way without doing the full completion that I wanted. And then I basically got to enjoy the rest of the game, which is basically just doing side missions over and over again for an hour. And I do recall doing these missions for, I think, 3 hours nonstop. And it was just literally the same thing over and over again. And at that point, I kind of realized without the main missions, honestly, I did not find anything interesting in here. And I told myself, why am I really paying this much money just for this? And this is what made me want to go with the refund at the end of the day. Because, I have played games like Fallout 3, which I have paid full price straight away to buy. And I enjoyed Fallout 3. It was amazing, and I got to try everything. I got to play, good karma, bad karma, and then I got the add-ons. Honestly, Point Lookout was amazing. There was also I think it was, I'm trying to remember, it's the one where you basically go to Point Anchorage. I think that's what it's called. That one was a simulation, and honestly, it was super refreshing. And you know what? I actually paid out of pocket for that. Which brings me to one other reason why I kind of felt like getting a refund, because Fallout 3 for me was honestly the first game, I would say, that, came with the Game of the Year edition. Now, that was nothing new, because I remember buying Oblivion Game of the Year edition on PC after owning it on my Xbox 360, but it kind of like set this thing in my mind, that kind of like this little switch, I guess you could say, that made me think, you know what, I really don't feel like paying, X amount of money. Back then it was $60. Now it's like about 80 for me, 70 or so. And, and then having to play this game for like a month, and then kind of waiting for the DLC, paying another $20 for it, wait a little bit longer, pay another $20 for something else that might be good, and then you know what? I ended up spending almost like $150 on it, when I could have simply waited about a year, which will pretty much be the same thing. Because think about it this way, guys. I'm going to be playing a game for a month, and then all of a sudden I'm going to be waiting. Oh, I'm going to play it for another 10 minutes, waiting. I'm going to play for another hour, and then basically end up getting maybe a month and a day worth of, fun, when I could basically just wait for like a Game of the Year edition. And honestly, that's one thing I encouraged a lot of people when it came to The Witcher, for example. The Witcher 3, I started with The Witcher 2 on the Xbox. I never got to play the first one. I have seen the first one. I remember seeing the box art, because I used to go to GameStop and seeing the Witcher box and everything. but I never got to play The Witcher 1 at all. So when The Witcher 2 came out, Assassin of Kings, it pretty much came with like the game and the expansion, and I ended up playing it. And you know what? I enjoyed it. And when it came to The Witcher 3, I got it the day it came out. You know, I remember I was super happy. I was like, this is the type of game I want, because it was mentioned in the E3 for the Xbox conference, and it was mentioning how, you know, the new Xbox One has this and that, and it looked amazing. And you know what? It's a game that I bought right away. And when the expansions came out now, really made me just buy the expansions right away. But for everybody else, though, for everybody else that wasn't a Witcher fan like me, because I enjoyed The Witcher 2, and you know what? It was amazing. But for a lot of other people who did not get to play The Witcher 2, I kind of told them right away, you know what? Just wait it out. Wait it out. You're going to see there's going to be like a Game of the Year edition that's going to come out or something. The DLC's already out. You know, one DLC's out. Not only that, but a lot of times there's like, you know, sales online where you can get the game plus the add-on for like the price of the game almost. And that's what I encourage people, you know. But let's go back to Cyberpunk for a second here. I did not want to do that to Cyberpunk because I remember seeing the trailer years ago, you know, the original trailers with the song Bullets. And I told myself, you know what, this looks amazing. And then I got to experience CD Projekt Red more in detail. I got to play The Witcher 2. I got to play The Witcher 3. And I told myself, you know what, this is a game I'm going to buy regardless. I'm going to put in my money in there. I was not sold on Special Edition, and thank God they didn't do this. So I got to say kudos for you, CD Projekt Red, for not creating like a Special Edition that would have made me shell out in like maybe another $20, $30. But regretfully, I kind of bought some other stuff, honestly, so I'll probably end up paying the same thing. I went to the merch store and I got myself a little hoodie. I went on online and saw that they had a special edition, you know, game guide. Now, for those that don't use game guides, I don't blame you at all. And honestly, I kind of regret buying it. And I literally bought the game guide as well. You know, I told myself this is going to be memorabilia. You know, it's going to be awesome. When I'm not playing the game, I can like sit down and read the book and like find out about those hidden guns and stuff. And you know what? At this point, I really just regret buying the game. And honestly, regardless of the patches, which from what I hear, the patches are only doing so much and not really helping. They kind of like fix the original issue I had with Dum Dum. But I'm just not feeling it, honestly. And it kind of sucks because this is a guy that, you know, I just bought Fallout 4 again. This time, however, for my my Xbox One, actually, because I saw it on sale and I told myself, you know what? It's coming with all the DLC, and I got it for like $40. And you know what? That was an amazing deal. I got Fallout 4 that had basically two expansions I wanted, Nuka World as well as the Far Harbor. And you know what? I feel like that was a way better deal than actually, you know, spending the $80 for Cyberpunk and kind of waiting to see if there's DLC. And at this point, I'm kind of glad as well because they canceled the multiplayer. I was thinking about playing this game like from start to finish, sitting down and saying, you know what? I'm going to be playing this game for like months. Reality check, I played the game for like maybe 3 weeks nonstop, and I was lucky. Now listen to me. I was lucky, and this is my personal opinion here, where I had started a new job that allowed me to kind of like just do the bare minimum at the beginning and then kind of play the game for 8 hours and then go to bed at like 1 a.m. and then get back to work and everything without having to stress out or fall asleep or anything. However, I was an exception because, you know, the holidays were around the corner, and guess what? We get holidays, we get vacation time, we get, you know, days off and stuff, so I got to play the game a lot more. And the worst part is, for those who haven't figured it out yet, I was actually playing this game on the Xbox One, not the classic one, the Xbox One Series X, I guess, or, you know, whatever they call it, the Scorpio. I really don't care. I don't even remember at this point. This is one thing I really hate about the Xbox. But I wasn't playing it on the base version. I was playing on the, you know, Xbox 1.5, I guess. And the game was just horrible. I remember the first day playing this game, and besides for the main stories, I was sitting down and I was looking at this, and I was like, is it me? Is it because, you know, I haven't gotten like the new Xbox. I haven't gotten like a 3080, you know, NVIDIA GeForce graphics card. Is it because I bought it on consoles, or, you know, maybe it's the settings or something? And you know what? It just felt off. But I'm a guy that used to play, you know, the SNES as a kid. So for me, everything looks amazing. So I kept on playing the game. I did notice a lot of bugs. But for me, I kept on playing the game. I just kept on pushing myself through. But I found it boring. I really, really did. Like, I remember at some point, it just felt like a grind. And for me, I kind of messed up at the beginning. I kind of went for, like, this stealth build. And I kind of, like, you know, invested on really, really dumb progression charts, like, you know, the knife throwing, which I sincerely regret getting because, you know, I didn't have money at the time. And, you know, I thought I would be able to throw the knife, but the perk didn't work at all. You just threw your knife. Congratulations, you lost it. Have a nice day. So yeah, there was a bunch of these perks that made no sense. At some point halfway through the game, you know, I kind of told myself, you know what, I have to find a way to get money. And I found a way to get money. You know, it was kind of like a bug, I guess. So I'm not proud to say, but I kind of had to force myself to give myself like an hour to do random stuff just to get eddies, which is the in-game currency, just to buy the tabula rasa, which was basically just a like skill reset. And goddamn, was it amazing! The moment I got the skill reset, I resetted my character. But then again, I reset the character and I still blew everybody's heads open. You know, I was doing stealth runs. You know, there was no real point in like knocking people out. So at this point, I think I was just killing everybody just to make it faster. I was running around with the Overwatch sniper, I forget, from Pan Am, and just blowing people's heads off and doing stuff like that. And I was even using the Mantis blades just like jump around and get around there. And you know what? I finished the game. I got the endings I wanted. I literally just like saved right at the door before you go up the restaurant. And kind of did all the endings. And you know what? The endings were well built. I personally feel like they were really well built. I got to enjoy them. I got to see all of them. And I'll be honest, the corpo ending, for those without going too much into detail, the corpo ending for me really kind of hit home because, you know, I didn't save Tanaka or anything, or I didn't like have him at all. And you know what? It kind of gave me a choice. Like, it really gave me that like CD Projekt Red choice of like, hey, listen, do you want to sell your soul to the devil, or do you kind of want to, like, you know, go out on your own terms? Now, this reminds me of a quote from BioShock, for those that don't remember, or those that do, where Andrew Ryan literally asks you before his death. He says, a man chooses, a slave obeys. And literally, you know, he repeats these last words over and over again as he dies. And then he basically kind of says, like, obeys. You know, when it comes to this, it kind of reminds me of, like, free will in a sense. And you know what? I like the immersion at the end. I really, really did. You know, even though I was kind of like really deep into it at the beginning, then kind of lost focus and was kind of doing this just to finish a game. And then I got to the fact of the corporate ending. And you know what? I actually felt like a decision was made there. I literally decided to tell him to F off. And looked at my character, look at the sun, and look at the planet. And you know what? I actually felt that one. I felt like, you know what? This is like a character I had time to grow and learn and everything. And I think if I was in that position, I would have done the same thing. I would have been like, you know what, doesn't matter, F it, I'm just gonna go on my own terms. Which I think made me also, you know, realize when the opportunity to get a refund came in, to actually go with it. Because at the end of the day, you know, the game itself, nothing to the developers, because at the end of the day, the developer will do his job, and there's always going to be that guy right above that kind of has to do the bad decision. Now, I was in management as well, and I was in positions where, you know, I kind of heard the people's feedback. I had people literally tell me, this is the problem, and I will look at them straight in the eyes and be like, you know what, you're absolutely right, that is a problem. But my job was to basically, you know, kind of like find a middle ground between, you know, my employers and the individuals, you know, the people that were literally there, like, suffering the most. But you know what? I was also suffering with them. And I told them, hey, listen, I can't get you what you want, but I will definitely try my best to get you something as good, if not better. And for some people it worked, for some people don't. You know, some people are literally just going to take one-sided opinions. They're going to be like, this is clearly just their fault. They knew better. They could have done better. You could have done X and Y. You could have stood up. You could have, you know, left. But listen to this, guys. At the end of the day, it's easy to point fingers and say, you know what, this could have been done. This should have been done. But unless you were physically there and you did that decision, you know what? Respect people's decisions. Respect their choices to sit down and be like, you know what? I still feel like feeding my family. You know what? This job, it was a lot better for me than, let's say, my old job. Or, you know, saying, hey, you know what? CD Projekt Red is offering me a bonus, even though it's very archaic the way they were doing it. But you know what? That's Poland. Like, for a lot of people who are not from Europe, I have a lot of friends where I grew up in the city. So was when my high school is very multicultural. So that means that it was, like, I would say like 70% immigrants because of the neighborhood I was in. And it was a public school as well. So I got to get the feedback from a lot of people. Some of them Romanian, some of them, you know, Polish, some of them German. And a lot of them, you know, also Bulgarians for some reason. A lot more Bulgarians than anything. And you know what? They know what it is to work, like their work ethic and stuff. And I remember talking to some of their parents as well, because when I was younger, you know, the way I was raised, you don't just walk into a house and kind of like ignore your parents. I walk in, I present myself, I shake their hand, and kind of go like kiss on the cheek for the women, firm handshake for the men. And for them, it kind of stood out. And like I remember talking to them, and one of them was actually Polish. I remember, and I kind of messed up because I had picked up some Russian words. I kind of spoke to them in Russian, and the guy was kind of a little bit of annoyed. For those that know the history, they're not really, buddy with Russians. But anyway, I apologized. I didn't know. I was like, hey, listen, it kind of sounded Russian to me, I guess. Pardon my ignorance. And he told me really life. He's like, hey, listen, you just kind of work. His parents finished high school, and one of them worked in a grocery store all their lives. The other one kind of like worked somewhere. I don't remember. This is like over 15 years ago. But yeah, he just remembered telling me how life was very, very simple. And in like Poland and in Europe, a lot of times, you kind of finish high school, and unless you go to university and become a teacher or something like that, in a lot of these countries, even like doctors and stuff get paid like just better than most, but still, it's just a job at the end of the day. So, when it comes to CD Projekt Red, I don't blame them. I don't blame the developers at all. The only thing I blame, and this is my personal opinion here, is literally, upper management. Because here's the thing, guys. This is not EA where there's a guy sitting down in an office, sipping, Dom Perignon or anything like that. This is literally a team of guys that started from the bottom. Now, go look at the history of CD Projekt Red. It's indeed an amazing story. Go find some articles. Go find some videos on YouTube. You're going to like this. And, their background is amazing. It's very heartwarming. It's, very down to earth. And I appreciate it's like people that just wanted to start a business and they got it done. And what I don't agree is the fact that they literally saw what the product was. And they kind of went and said, you know what? We're known for doing this and this, and we're actually going to let this slide. Now, the following part is my personal opinion, and it also kind of goes into conspiracy theory land, so be warned. I have a feeling, now this is my personal opinion again, I'm going to say this again. My personal opinion here, I strongly believe that honestly, they kind of felt like a little pressure, even though they recently said they weren't. They felt the pressure to basically ship out the game, not because of the whole delays, not because of the whole, hey, listen, we've been pushing this back and back and back and back, because they even said it recently. They said, no, it has nothing to do with that, just standard pressure. I strongly believe, and this is conspiracy theory land, they kind of had a deal, or they kind of spoke, or they kind of had like an under the table agreement of, hey, you know what, I heard your new consoles are coming out. If we can get the game out early enough to like kind of force people to buy the game, do you think we could get like a better deal down the line or something like that? Like unspoken rules, a little, scratch my back, I scratch yours. And that's what I think happened. I think also, the fact that, when the new console was released, they kind of wanted as much people to go there. So, think about it this way. You're a guy that says, oh, should I buy an old console? Should I buy a new console? And then this game that you really like, Cyberpunk2077, comes out. And you know what? Boom. You know what? I don't have to make this decision anymore. It's gonna be on new consoles. Well, I'm gonna buy a new console and I'm gonna buy the game. It's gonna come out with the updated version for free, I guess. And bam, there you go. 2-for-1 shots. Again, this is a big conspiracy theory, and this is my personal opinion. But I kind of feel like there was something like that going on. And I also feel like, from a statistics point of view and like a finance point of view, this game itself, if you go read a little bit more about it, it had some funding from the government as well for like gameplay and level design and stuff like that, ironically. And I kind of feel like the company themselves, and when I say the company, I mean specifically the heads of the company. I'm not going to name names because it can't be, it could be one person, it could be two person, it could be everybody. It could just be like, everybody except just the basic employees. I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm just saying, especially those decision-making people, they kind of had a choice to make. And they made a decision that, for me, I completely disagree with. I do not approve of. And the worst part is, you get to see the after effect of it. They literally told themselves, you know what? I want to get a really fat bonus before Christmas because, it's the last quarter and I want people to look at my charts. And by the time this game rolls out and, and everything, it's going to sell this much amount of money. And it did. It recouped the development costs and everything. And I guarantee you the CEOs and stuff, they kind of went and sat back and said, boom, why finish the year making this much more money? And for a lot of investors, now this is where it gets a little bit different. For a lot of investors, and I watch a lot of Dragon's Den, and I actually got to see Kevin O'Leary once in person when he was in the city. A lot of people just want to know, where's my money? Where am I going to get my money? How much am I getting back? They don't care about the details. And you know what? That's a fair point to say. Because for some people, you don't need to approve of it. You don't need to be 100% agree with the product. You need to be a user of the product. You know, to give you an example, Ben and Jerry's, one of the founders died because of diabetes, and one of his sons actually never ate Ben and Jerry's afterwards because of that. But he still supports the company, I guess. He still worked in it. But I digress. Back to the original point. Cyberpunk 2077, they literally made the decision. They sat down, they said, oh, you know what? I'm actually going to release this game. And specifically, I'm going to release it in the broken state because I really need this cash, because I really want to get myself like X and Y, and I kind of want to like please the corporate people to basically, you know, maybe get a better deal down the line. And you know what? I got a feeling that our reputation is going to carry itself. Now, to quote Tony Montana, there's there's two things he doesn't break, and one of them is his bees, and the other one is his words. Okay, his word. And to be honest, guys, I kind of feel like, you know, CD Projekt Red really dropped the ball here, especially for a guy like me that, you know, as I'm getting older, I kind of don't feel like wasting my money anymore. I really don't feel like spending $80 and saying, oh, it's a loss, whatever. I'll just work one extra day. I'll make the money back. Because at the end of the day, it kind of adds up. And after, as you get older, you kind of realize that, you know, wasting money every once in a while is not fun. Okay, and for me especially, that I'm working and going to school still, you know, it's never fun wasting money. So when I got this opportunity, and I kind of felt this strong as well for a game that I actually cared, I'm gonna go with the refund. I took the refund, I got it got deposited in my account. At some point, I guess I'm gonna have to return the game. Doesn't matter, it's sort of shelved in a corner somewhere. I'm just gonna put it in like a bag. I'm put it in a box and send it back when the shipment send me the shipping label. But anyway, guys, I really don't want to carry on too much. I know this video is already like 20 minutes long, so I do want to finish a little bit more here with some more personal opinions when it comes to this. When it comes to Cyberpunk 2077, I gotta say, it is not a bad game, but it's definitely not a game that's worth that price. I am definitely recommending this game later on in maybe a year and a half when the game goes gold again, I guess, or platinum, or, you know, Game of the Year edition, or, you know, Cyberpunk edition, or generation, whatever they're gonna call it. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a good marketing for it. And at that point, you know what? Yeah, I encourage to buy it for maybe like $30-$40, or and even better, buy it digitally. You know, honestly, buy digitally. You don't have to worry about the CD being somewhere and then breaking or whatever. And you know what? That's going to be a good price. And my other recommendation I'm also going to do is, you know, if for those that are slowly, you know, going above, you know, the whole, not above, sorry, I would say they're kind of like slowly progressing from consoles to PCs. I think I'm going to buy this on PC down the line. And I'm still going to wait for the Game of the Year edition, though. I am not going to buy this on console anymore. I am probably going to buy it like maybe the day it comes out in Game of the Year and just kind of wait for it to go on sale, because there's so many sales, and then like 2 months later it drops down. So I'm definitely going to do that. And yeah, honestly, I got to say that that's my 2 cents. That's my personal opinion when it comes to like the refund and why I chose to continue with it. I gave you some examples of why I kind of felt like, you know, it wasn't worth that kind of money. And you know what? I stand my ground. I also gave my conspiracy theory. If you have some other theories on down the line, tell me. If you had some, you know, people that kind of feel the same way, share their story down in the comments or anything. I don't really expect this to blow up or anything. Honestly, it's my 2 cents, in other words. But yeah, I'm getting the refund, and honestly, I really don't regret it. I don't regret it. And matter of fact, for those that were maybe debating, I strongly encourage you to do so, and I gave you a pretty good reason to do so. Wait till the game comes out, and, you know, maybe invest in like a better PC. Spend that money somewhere else and investing on your PC, and then buy it on PC for like $20, you know. Anyway, that was it for tonight, guys. I really don't want to take too much of your time. And again, this was Critical Chris. Thank you so much for listening. Greatly appreciate it, and I wish you a good night or a good day. Bye-bye.